Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, April 16th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, after more than 12 months at the bargaining table, Dimensions healthcare system and union members failed to come to an agreement over wages, staffing, and other contract issues. Now, rejecting a final offer from Dimensions, nurses and caregivers are picketing outside of hospitals across Prince George's. Rochelle Metzger spoke with both sides and has this report.
Chanting and carrying signs, local healthcare workers protest outside Laurel Regional Hospital. They're members of the Service Employees International Union, or SEIU 1199, and for more than a year, they've been in contract talks with Dimensions Healthcare System, which runs this hospital as well as Prince George's Hospital Center and other medical facilities here in the county. Well, negotiations have stalled, and after rejecting the latest contract offer from Dimensions, union members have taken to the picket line to publicly voice their frustrations.
Today is an informational picketing. We are making things aware to the community of our challenges right now, working within the hospital climate.
These workers and these nurses haven't gotten any raises in the last 4 years. In order to recruit and retain qualified staff for PG County and for the healthcare, they want to make sure that they are able to actually get a decent wage increase. Not a lot, but a fair wage increase. Other things are staffing. They're talking about scheduling changes that would negatively impact patient care.
It's a fluid situation. Healthcare is changing. Reimbursement issues that have been widely documented are impacting our paying arrangements, and it's a tough environment right now, and so we're trying to get SEIU to understand that, and we're sure that they will work with us as we achieve success and turn around Dimensions healthcare system.
The nurses and the caregivers here voted to authorize actions up to and including a strike. They don't want to strike, but they feel like they have to continue to raise the profile of the issues that are going on here to make sure that they're fighting for patient care and for fighting for a fair contract for the workers and nurses here.
In addition to the protest here in Laurel, members organized smaller picket lines at Prince George's Hospital Center and Cheverly and Glenridge Medical Center in Lanham. Meanwhile, the hospital says it did make advanced arrangements so there's no disruption of patient care while it continues to try and work things out with the union. Reporting in Laurel, I'm Rochelle Metzger, CTV News.
1199 SEIU United Healthcare Workers East represents 1,400 nurses and caregivers at Dimensions facilities. Well, any moment now a verdict could come down against the man charged in a quadruple homicide. Laurel Ballard has been on trial for killing 2 women and 2 children back in 2010. Our Denise Douglas is at the courthouse with the latest.
We are at the courthouse where, as you said, a verdict could come back at any minute in this case. If convicted of the 4 murder charges against him, Laurel Ballard will face life in prison. Let me give you a recap of this case. He allegedly killed Ms. Wadi Saala, Dawn Brooks, and Brooks's 2 children in 2010. According to testimony in the courtroom, he believed that Brooks had someone steal the marijuana that he had stashed in her apartment in Lanham. Now, since this trial started last week, a number of witnesses have been on the stand, including Ballard's girlfriend, Takesha Gilmore, who went through in detail how he callously shot the 2 women and 2 children as she stood by. It was a very emotional part in this very emotional trial, and that's when the father of the 2 children stormed out, clearly unable to listen any longer. Prior to that, that same man and Ballard's brother got into a heated argument in the hallway. So again, a very emotional case throughout. It will be interesting to see when this verdict comes down, if it is the same kind of response or if everyone just sort of holds their peace. Again, we are here at the courthouse waiting for the verdict to come down. Ballard facing life in prison if convicted of the 4 murder charges against him. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And Ballard's girlfriend pleaded guilty as part of an agreement with prosecutors to testify against him. She is facing 40 years to life when she's sentenced. Laurel police are hoping that some surveillance video will help them find 3 suspects they say robbed the same liquor store twice in less than 2 months. Now, officials say the suspects broke into the Laurel Park liquor store yesterday morning and stole more than $2,500 worth of high-end liquor. Detectives say the same suspects robbed the store on March 5th.
We've had 2 incidents at the Laurel Park Liquor Store, which is located in the Conti Crossing Shopping Center. The first was in March, the second was a couple nights ago. Each incident, there have been 3 suspects who drive up in a van. One suspect will break the window out of the business, and they immediately go inside for the high-end alcoholic beverages.
A silver Dodge Caravan or Chrysler Town and Country van was used to flee the scene in both incidents. Anyone with information is asked to call 301-498-8002. Well, Prince George's County Council passes a zoning bill clearing the way for construction of MGM National Harbor. The vote came at the end of a public hearing last night. At issue, in part, was minority hiring at the resort. One speaker asked council members to delay a vote until they could solidify a deal on minority hiring.
Sure that our African Americans and local business people get a piece of the pie. They owe us, we don't owe them. So what is the hurry? Let's make them come to the table first before we start giving them something. They spent $40 million just to put it on the ballot. Let's see if we can get some of that $40 million to make sure up front, before you pass any zoning, that they sit at the table and make sure that minority participation is in the same vein as CB 23 was. We are tired of not having or just getting the pieces that they give us.
Now, the measure was approved by a 7-1 vote. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.